There is no doubt about it, as an ADF member or a veteran, everyone decides to live in their own dream home one day. Now, if you've been posted around the country and each of those locations have had not very good property markets and you're sort of wondering how it is you're going to be able to buy your dream home one day, you can do this thing called rent vesting. I'm going to show you right now in an awesome little case study exactly how it works. Say you're now living in your married quarter, you're living in accommodation or your RA, and you've got about 60 grand cash set aside. Happy days. You can then go and use that money as a deposit and cost to go and buy your first investment property. Now, that first investment property is going to be in the #1 place in Australia. It's going to give you sustained and low risk capital growth. It's going to have a rent return and a tax return. The self-licking ice cream, set and forget. Happy days. You sit on that property for about a 3-year period. And then eventually there's going to be some capital growth occur and there'll be some equity there. You can then utilise that equity for the deposit and cost, the D&C as it's called, to then go and buy your second investment property. That second investment property, rinse, repeat. #1 place in Australia, probably a different location. It's going to give you the best chance of sustaining the low risk capital growth, rent return, tax return, set and forget. No dramas. Fast forward another 3 years or so, you just go and do it one more time. Now, I'm not going to fill up the whole page with this 10 property portfolio BS that you may or may not have seen on other sort of forms there. This is about just doing things in a smart and measured way. Fast forward X amount of years, whereby one day, remember, it's not if, but when you get out of the military, you're going to become a veteran and you're not going to have access to your ADF housing entitlements from a subsidised housing perspective anymore. Where are you going to live? You've got this awesome property portfolio. Now, you may be aware that within 5 years, you can still use your DOHAS to buy your dream home, and this is how you're going to be able to do it. You then go ahead and identify what your dream home looks like. Because you've been smart in the way that you've built your portfolio, there's going to be a heap of equity sitting in each of those investment properties. You can then work with a mortgage broker to rebalance your portfolio, go and grab big chunks of equity and put a huge deposit down on your own home. If you've never lived in any of these properties, you can probably still get your first home owner's grant. There are some upper limits as far as price range that occurs, but then you can also go and get your DOHAS loan. How good's that? Remember, within 5 years' time. That, ladies and gents, whether you're a serving member or a veteran, is exactly how you go ahead and buy your dream home. And it all starts back here by being smart enough and confident enough to jump into the property market with the right level of training.